Welcome back to the Dividend Diplomats YouTube channel. You got your boys, Lanny and Bert, the Dividend Diplomats. Today, we're going to give another quarterly update here. VYM versus SCHD in my portfolio. Which one is performing better? We bought them both at the exact same time. So head to head, which dividend-focused ETF is better than the other right now?
Guys, this is going to be an intense video based on what Bert's little test that he did back, I think, was it December last year?
It was Q3 2022.
Q3 of 2022, guys. But before we see what's going on with the VYM and the SCHD, or the SCHD and the VYM, smash that subscribe button. Give us a nice thumbs up, guys. We are looking at this right now. We're trying to see here what is performing better for Bert. Is it the glorious SCHD that everybody loves and worships right now, or is it the quiet but deadly VYM?
Yeah, I feel like we have to figure out the right wrestling combination for this, because these are the two heavyweights in the world going against each other. Is this WWF versus WCW here? On which one?
Oh, no,
Yeah.
I'm not taking a side on
No,
that.
but all right. So what happened? I'll give the very fast recap. We had some funds in an old retirement account. I rolled them over to my Roth. Rather than pick VYM or SCHD, I said, screw it. Let's have some fun. Let's split it right down the middle. So we invested nearly $9,200 in each at the exact same time. I spread the purchases out. I dollar cost averaged over Q3 2022. When I bought VYM, I bought SCHD. So I grabbed at launch 85.37 shares of VYM, 121.48 shares of SCHD. So every quarter we record a video and see which one's performing better, which one has a better market value, which one's received more dividends. So just to see head to head, which one comes out from a total return perspective.
Guys, there that is. And then with that, obviously, there's been dividends being reinvested, dividends paid out, dividends have grown as well. So, Bert's going to talk about all of that, what dividend growth has looked like, how much dividends he's received through three quarters, Q4 2022, Q1 2023, and upcoming here, closing out Q2 2023. So he's going to take all of that into consideration here with the market value swings plus dividends to see what the overall return has been for these two investments, Bert. So go through it with us. What was your initial market value and your cost basis?
Yeah, my cost basis for each is $9,189. That's the cost basis right there. So, and again, for VYM, 85.37 shares, SCHD 121.48 with drip. Now we have 3 quarters of drip for each one of these. Obviously, shares are going to increase for each one. So now I have 86.69 shares of VYM and 123.65 shares of SCHD, because we've reinvested those fractional shares over the last few quarters. So we get a nice pickup on the shares, but this is where things get interesting. Let's look at the stock price. What's happened here? I bought VYM at 107.64. Their current price is 106.07, so their price is basically flat. SCHD, I bought at 75.65 on average. Their price, 72.62. That trails what's happening so far in 2023. VYM is performing better than SCHD from just a pure stock price perspective. So overall market value, VYM, $9,194.78. SCHD, $8,979.54.
Wow. Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
So that's the market value right now.
Pure market value because of reinvestment, up $5.41 on VYM, down $210.06 for SCHD. That's a huge swing between the two of them.
We'll have to look at what it looked like during your last video, if it's gotten better or for worse since Q1.
Yeah, that is interesting. I did not keep track of that for some reason. I should just keep a running tab of that on the side, because I could tell you it's not going favorable for SCHD, which has seemed to really struggle after this rebalance. They haven't seemed to find their footing after they did that big portfolio rebalancing in the second quarter.
And how much in dividends has each ETF given you so far?
Yeah, that's a great point. So I've received 3 dividends from each one of them. Put the chart up here. Now, in total, VYM has paid $219.79 for dividends. SCHD, $239.33, which makes sense. SCHD has a little bit more yield than VYM. That's why everybody always leans towards SCHD. So in total, when you take the market value change and the dividends received, VYM is actually up $225.20 from a total return perspective. SCHD, $29.27. Those dividends really save that decrease in market value that's happening. Overall, though, VYM, I'm up 2.545% from the cost basis. SCHD barely up 0.32% from there. So still up, but not very much for both funds.
Interesting. So right now, VYM outperforming SCHD just by a couple hairs, but really you're pegging it too against the S&P 500. Obviously, Vanguard's got the VOO. There's many other ETFs out there that do the S&P 500. Fidelity, BlackRock. There's plenty of other ETFs out there. S&P 500 is up over 16%.
Yeah, year to date, the S&P 500 is crushing it. 52 weeks are up 16% too. And this is where you're seeing the disparity between the two. These funds are, because they're chasing the yield, not chasing the yield, they're getting the higher yield in these funds. That's the purpose of them. They're missing out on those low yielding tech stocks that are really propping up the S&P 500 right now. So all those big market cap, your Apples, your Nvidia, your all those Microsofts, big tech companies are not in these funds because they have yield requirements. That's what's missing there. So that's why you're not seeing the market value growth for VYM or SCHD.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Obviously, a very, it's not to say seasonal, but hey, tech's doing well, not heavy in tech within these ETFs. So it makes a lot of sense there. Obviously, you could have, looked back at during the 2022 year and said, oh, yeah, tech's doing terrible. These ETFs doing better. So again, all just depends what's in the mix.
That's right. So I think it's been interesting. VYM is performing better for me right now by over 2% compared to SCHD. And there is one thing I want to call out here because we just featured that video on Tuesday. Let's look at the dividend growth of the two funds because I think this is what's fascinating, especially for Q2. We covered in Tuesday video all the Vanguard ETFs. VYM's dividend growth was 3.4%. SCHD, no bueno. Their Q2 2023 dividend compared to Q2 2022 dividend was down 5.56%. So that was interesting. It was an interesting swing of the dividends to me because of the rebalancing.
We'll have to see, the next quarter. I'm sure SCHD, we'll look at the next 2 quarters. I'm excited for you to have next quarter will give you really 4 full quarters. Curious if SCHD is going to really rebound with some stronger growth. I think, were they heavy more into banking as well? Maybe with those dividend increases could help.
Surprisingly, no. Their top 10, Broadcom, Pepsi, Cisco, Merck, Home Depot, Texas Instruments, Coke, Chevron, Verizon, and Pfizer. So Home Depot's dividend increase was not as great in 2023 as it was 2022. And a lot of the other ones are following suit. So that's probably why you're not seeing the pickup in dividend growth for them that you had the previous year.
Got it. Well, there you guys have it, though. I mean, right now, market value for Bert is up a couple $100 on VYM versus SCHD. Dividend growth for this last quarter looks a little bit better for VYM. SCHD did have the rebalance, a couple months ago, so that could be impacting. Bert just mentioned a lot of lower dividend growth players are in the top echelon of the composition of the portfolio. But you have received more dividends from SCHD, so that's good from an income investing standpoint. It's kind of I don't think this can be determined yet.
No, the results are still inconclusive. I mean, the VYM is widening the gap, but I don't think we're going to know the true answer until a 5-10 year horizon of which one's better between these two, because I think that's what you need to judge them. Who's going to perform better in the long run? And that's really what it's going to be about.
And for the long run, as a dividend growth investor, you're not thinking of one day, tomorrow, next week, next year, even next 5 years. You're looking at 10, 20 plus years of owning and holding, reinvesting, and growing this dividend income stream, guys.
Yeah. So everyone, let me know what you think. Do you prefer VYM or SCHD? Do you like WF or WCW? Let us know which one you like better. We haven't figured out which one's which yet. That's there. So if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel. Give this video a thumbs up. And Lanny, what do we need to tell the followers?
Guys, NWO style, you're either with us or you're against us, Jack. That was Bert the Hurt and Lanny from the Dividend Diplomats, over and out.